Pessoal, eu estou aqui com Gregory Hanley, um dos maiores nomes do mundo da pesquisa sobre comportamento e problema. Eu vou entrevistá-lo. Nós estamos aqui no workshop internacional da Lunaaba, que é o workshop avançado de comportamento e problema. Então, a gente vai falar aqui, vai ter a legenda aqui para vocês acompanharem. Thank you a lot to talk to me. Hanley, do you speak about techniques and about values, compassion? What's the relationship in these two things?
We call it compassionate ABA. And it does have some values that lead to compassionate ABA, things like safety and the rapport with the child. But what we really noticed is very nice people can come across lacking compassion depending on the procedures that they're taught and supported in using in therapy. And so there's something about using procedures that have a televisability to them that could be put on the evening news and anyone would appreciate, because those are the kind of procedures that are dignified, that seem humane to others. And sometimes we get lost as helping professionals in trying to achieve objectives. And we're so anxious about getting to these outcomes that we forget about how we get there. And we almost adopt by accident a Machiavellian attitude that as long as we get there, the ends justify the means. And compassionate care is just about making sure that we select procedures that are going to constantly keep that person safe, constantly establish the positive relationship as we get to a beautiful outcome. So for us, compassion can be found in the procedures that we teach and support people in using. And we want to make sure the procedures allow for people to show concern for the learner in the moment, every moment, and not lose sight of the importance of their emotional well-being, and don't lose sight over that for some therapeutic or educational objective.
I believe this discussion is all about we were talking about it. The difference in efficacy and effectiveness, the life of the people, the real life. Right.
That's right. That's right. Our field of ABA has been late to the discussion of efficacy and effectiveness. We have so much behavior change technology in ABA that is efficacious. It works under short-term conditions when implemented by experts, short calendar time, highly controlled conditions. And sometimes we didn't ask questions about, will it work under more real-world conditions when implemented by parents and teachers in authentic environments under looser conditions? We didn't pay as much attention to the cost and benefits of our procedures, even though we were implored to ask about the acceptability of the procedures and outcomes. We focused on acceptability of procedures first, but we've been late again on asking people, is the amount of behavior change acceptable to you? It's not good enough to just change behavior, because if you just change behavior with an efficacious treatment, you are merely managing the problem. And what parents need from us is for us to solve the problem. And so research now moving towards showing the effects of ABA technology under more real-world conditions, and showing that it can be cost-effective, and showing that it produces outcomes that parents say, not just, yeah, there's a change, but there's a massive change in our quality of life because there is no more problem behavior. And we're getting there. In fact, we have technology that is putting us there right now. We are solving behavior problems like severe self-injurious behavior and aggressive right now in unprecedented ways. And here at this conference, I just witnessed 6 Brazilian professionals show data that's consistent with the construct of effectiveness. Cost-effective, big outcome results that parents are on video saying, we are safe now. We can go to the community. We can go to the beach. We no longer worry about the threat of problem behavior. So we have the technology, and at this point, it's a matter of disseminating it and making sure people have access to it, proper supervision, and good models like this to inspire them to do it.
I was right now recording a video complaining about all these cases is about clinic, and I am teacher. Sorry, I'm not a psychologist. So I am very passionate to see that in the schools. So I want to know from you, uh, this can happen in schools. This can happen in public schools.
It can, but it varies country by country. And school cultures are strong. And cultures change within each building, they change within each district, but they are certainly different across each country. I'll tell you, in the US and in Canada, there's some very nice differences happening in schools with people doing compassionate ABA to address severe problem behavior. Uh, there's two parts to it. There's this thing called a universal protocol. And a lot of schools adopt this tiered system around the world, thank goodness. But universal protocol is a tier 1 system to simply bring safety. Simply bring safety to the classroom, the student, and the teachers. And that has really resonated with school personnel because it eliminates things like seclusion, it eliminates restraint, at least minimizes it, and it keeps kids in the building out of expensive specialized care. And unfortunately, the financial contingencies sometimes drive decision making. But the universal protocol is a way to be safe, keep kids in schools, and that's financially advantageous for schools. And I think that's why it's picking up. The tier 3 part of the intervention is skill-based treatment. That too is happening in schools, but it's not easy. We failed in schools before, and we now understand what's needed. What you need is a pioneer. You need a master's level professional who's trained and passionate about bringing skill-based treatment to the school. You need one administrator, one leader who will protect the pioneer, who will protect them and let them do something that's a little outside the norm of the culture. And then you need a couple behavior techs or paraprofessionals, teachers that just want to see change because they love that student for some reason, or they are just so burnt out on the old way of doing school. So if we have that, if we have boots on the ground teachers, a master's level pioneer, and an administrative protector, if we have those 3 levels, all it takes is some training. We start out small. The kids that are the most vulnerable, the most severe behavior, show one success, and people in the school start paying attention. We never start with the top-down mandate in schools, because that's how a lot of things are rolled out in schools, right? The new math curriculum, the new reading curriculum, it's like schools, districts, statewide. This isn't that. This is kind of a bottom-up approach, 1 or 2, 3 successes, and then we bring it to scale. There are public school districts in the states that do universal protocol and SPT for all their kids with severe behavior, and they don't necessarily have board-certified behavior analysts all throughout the school system. They just, again, need to have those 3 levels: boots on the ground willingness, master's level pioneer, and administrative protector. I'm hopeful that this can happen in Brazilian schools. I need you to teach me more about it, but it's going to take one success that makes everyone's lives easier. I believe that'll be the starting point, and then it can grow from there.
We are following that. In this levels 1 to 3, this is the PBIS model. We brought the first PBIS course to Brazil in this year from Manuel Boncada. He was orientee from Harner.
Very good. The way this latches into a PBS system is very good. This what we talk about isn't derived from PBS, but we're cousins. This is ABA. PBS is predicated on ABA, but took an amazing systems level approach to getting ABA in schools with additional sensitivities. And we share those sensitivities. So if PBS is starting to emerge as a structure in school, a multi-tiered system of support, this can blend in so beautifully, because even most PBS people in the States will agree that their strength has been tier 1 and tier 2. But there's still PBS people struggling mightily with the tier 3 problems. And this really is a compliment to the already existing strength of PBS.
One thing the people sometimes say about SBT ISCA system, because they don't really know, it's I don't know, maybe it's not working to this really severe case, just to the mild case. I want you to talk about it.
it's taken me years, and it's not over, but people often make claims that SBT is good for kids with mild behavior problems or for young children. Part of that myth was propagated by people like myself who used to refuse to show the baseline videos, the descriptive assessments of kids being out of control and secluded and restrained, because I was like, well, that's not part of our process. Our process is consistent with this idea called the constructional approach that's been around a long time, and it's about focus on accepting the student where they are, make it safe, accept their first response to challenges, and then build skills from there. Well, if that's your process, you're not going to see a lot of severe behavior, and thus the myth about easy kids. Now, if people look at the literature and they see the description of the participants who are receiving before SBT, restraint, seclusion, intramuscular PRN medication with regularity, and they see the outcome with no severe behavior anymore, that myth is now going away in most of the places we go to. Tomorrow, I'm going to show some of the most severe SIB most people in this room will have ever seen, and they will see complete resolution of it from French professionals, Canadian professionals, Italian professionals, and US professionals. So that this myth about SBT being okay for the easy problems is finally going away because of what we're seeing in the literature, because of people like me finally showing and getting, and generous parents showing consent to show the vulnerable, uncomfortable moments of early therapy.
You talked someday about something happens in France too?
Yeah, I visited France on multiple occasions with this kind of technology, but it never really took off. And lately, however, there's a few companies, Formavision is one, that have really embraced these ideas. France, Switzerland, Germany, even Italy is very psychoanalytic, and still to this day.
Spreading.
Yes, and also those areas, the word control is a tough word there. With given their history, it's hard. The word control and early behaviorism was about controlling behavior. It did not sell well. So I understand why people ran from it. But these days we're seeing big movements in France with people doing compassionate ABA.
Even the government, right?
In fact, government runs a lot of basically mental health inpatient units. They're basically like residential facilities with the most vulnerable, severe, behaviorally disordered people in France. And some of the psychologists and psychiatrists that run those units have joined some of these trainings. And we have been meeting, and they like the ideas very much. It actually dovetails with where they want to go. And we're merely giving them some technology to go where they've already wanted to go. But the difference now is it's happening. So there's a lot of work going on to that effect.
In Brazil, you are here for the third time, I believe. So it's in the last few years, and I'm seeing the field in development here. There is each time there is more people interested in your approach. How do you see the mature of the Brazilian approach?
You can measure it first by the extent to which professionals are willing to get on stage and share their therapeutic process, share the graphs, share the videos. You can measure it the extent to which those stories have quality, scientific quality, social validation of outcomes. You can measure it by the extent to which how many people could have taken the stage but weren't allowed to given time constraints. The first time I came here, no one took the stage, despite an opportunity. The second time I came here, multiple people took the stage and told very good stories scientifically, but there was less social validation. It was almost in progress stories. This time, for every person who took a microphone, my understanding was there was two more that wanted to, but someone had to lose out on the opportunity. Every single story that was told had social validation. Complete process. The expansion of the profile. Last time I was here, young kids with autism. This time, young kids with autism, older kids with autism, older kids with oppositional defiant disorder. The settings have changed. Clinics, some more were almost community-based. And I'm also seeing representation from different companies. Luna obviously has great strength. Luna personnel started this. You supported this. Felipe is a leader in this area. And so there's a lot of people from Luna sharing their stories, but there's people from other companies doing the same. So that's one measure, but the trend is way up. The other measure is the number of people who get credentialed in the process. Because to get credentialed at a higher level, you have to prove a meaningful outcome with data, videotapes, etc. And there's a big uptick in credentialed people. So the last one, I guess, is there's a whole lot more trainings going on that I'm not doing. There's trainings from other US people coming here, doing PFA SBT trainings. There's trainings from Brazilian people in Brazil talking about the same thing. So I don't have any way to quantify it, but those are just some examples of the upward trend of the adoption and the high quality work being done.
I appreciate you separate the time to talk to me. Thank you a lot. I just want you to take a last message to the Brazilian people to the camera.
I love my time here. I wish I could spend more time here. People are so friendly. The food is amazing. But I just hope you know, especially if you're listening and you're a parent of a child with autism and severe behavior, or a professional who works with kids with severe behavior, I just want you to know that there are people in Brazil that know how to treat those children with total kindness and yet eliminate the problem behavior so that that child can be held to the highest developmental expectations. And just know that the people exist, the technology exists, and please find them.
Thank you. Obrigado, pessoal. Grande abraço. Valeu.